So before the session started, I got down to the beach early to reserve the spot, and I took the opportunity of casting out crab cam just to see what was going on the seabed, what sort of seabed that we were going to be fishing over, and any other things that might be picked up on the camera. So while we're waiting for the session to start, let's have a quick look at that.
Soul, hurt and fire and ice. Raindrops, teardrops, a good old cry. Daytime and nighttime, the light makes me blind. Life leaves scars. You're the only one with access to the backstage of my heart.
Welcome to Fishing with CJ on the beach, and you can probably see from the background, I'm not going to conceal where I'm fishing today. I am fishing in Eastbourne, beautiful sunny Eastbourne by the sea, and it was sunny when I got down here, but been down a little while now and tagged over. Now today I'm down here with Jason and Livvy. Hiya. And over on the far side of the beach there is Tony Kirrage, and Tony's going to show me the secrets of Smoothound fishing. So let's have a wander over there to Tony. How do?
You might get the first of that tide.
Hey, I'm Chris.
All right.
Chris, Ivan.
Hi Ivan.
Pleased to meet
Yeah, and you. You're on,
we're on live.
Yeah, you're on live, that's all right.
Ivan the crab man.
Ivan the crab man.
Well, supposed to.
Oh, has Ivan got crabs?
We've got a few.
Oh right, okay, cool.
Yeah, we were very lucky today. I've come down from Essex with them, but we...
Oh right, okay, cool.
Excellent. For you.
Right.
You had anything?
No.
No, nothing at all.
No, I mean I've only been fishing with a bit of ragworm on it, to be honest. Just scratching.
Going to start to run in a minute.
Yeah, well I've just put a couple of hermit crabs on one hook.
starting a little bit in a minute. Yeah, it's really hard here. It runs towards Beachy Head.
Right.
You get a good bit of tide. I reckon we get them tonight.
Okay. Well, the water's nice and clear, isn't it?
We've had a few in the last couple of days down Langley, but you'll get them here.
Well, hopefully.
I'll sort some out.
All right. Okay. Well, I mean, if you can't spare them, I mean, I say I've got hermits, so, but they ain't very good.
They're all right if they're fresh frozen or if they're live.
Yeah.
Alive.
Well, they were in my fridge, so I think they're just about alive.
Yeah.
But
well, it's all right. As long as they're alive. They're good. One of the best plays.
Yeah. I mean, I just tied the first one and it just popped straight away. Yeah.
I don't think you're going to catch anything now.
No. No.
When that starts to run properly.
Yeah.
And then what I'll give you is use it then, rather than it'd be just on dusk when we catch.
Yeah.
But near enough tell you, 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
9:15. We was up here 2 weeks ago, and I said to Ivan, I said 9:45, and he was going on. No. 9. And it went about 9:45. It went whack.
I was going on
it's almost you can time it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you come here and they're here all night. They're here.
Yeah.
We've actually, we fished a match here, say the Nomads, and they finished at 10 o'clock.
Right.
I tied at 10:30. We've come straight here up afterwards. We've had 2 or 3 within a space of 20 minutes.
All right. I know they're pack fish and they do turn up and you'll suddenly get a load and then it goes quiet again.
I've got a better picture of that one last night.
All right.
Have a look. Because my mate was about a mile away. So that's a nice photo, that one. It's quite nice, that.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
It was about 7 and a bit.
Yeah.
92 centimetres plus.
Yeah, beautiful.
I missed one last night because I was over here, like you are from here to your rods, talking to my mate. I see it, and I never run so fast in my life, 67 years old. I got there. When I got there, it nearly took the rod in, but I had it on the drag.
Yeah.
And I got there, it come up dead straight. I picked it up, reeled in. It actually had the crab and turned the hook. And that's why I stayed for another cast, so I wasn't have gone home.
Yeah.
And the sea was well down.
Yeah.
And I've got one, the next cast, I was right on it, sitting on it.
Well, did you see the one I had at Langley, where I caught a little one, and then it went quiet for about 2 hours. So I was cooking my dinner and I was videoing me cooking the dinner, right? Yeah. And on the video, you can see it. I didn't know, but my rod's going
really
on my head. And also I heard a crash. And I looked round and my rod rest has fallen over. And then my rod started going down the beach. And it was like a big gully of water. It was about 2 foot of deep water. I'd run through this gully because it would have gone over the lip and gone under and never seen it again. So
people think they just go straight over. If you watch your rod a lot, I've noticed they kind of like they'll touch it a couple of times, or they'll kind of what I say lean on it. People laugh at me, but the rod sort of tightens up a bit. And then they go, and a lot of people miss that. Because if you concentrate on your rod, you do get an inkling of something happening before But people don't believe you, and they go, "Oh, my rod just went over. It was going down the beach," but they missed what happened
they
before.
missed the
I think they come and nose it, and then they turn around. I think when they go off with all that power, they're hooked near enough. So all you got to do is kind of lean into them rather than strike like a nutter.
I mean, that might be it. Might be if they feel the prick of the hook, and that's when they go off.
Everyone's got their own ideas, and people are different, So, but I do a lot of it, and I find that's what happens.
Right, so Tony's going to talk about the secret of baiting up with a peeler, because I have to say that I don't know really. So
you've got to sit there and you've got to peel everything off, all the small bits come off, all this bit, everything comes off.
When I've been doing it, I've been peeling the backs off, and that was it really.
No, you've got to do everything. Well, people catch them on hard backs, so I've got no confidence. But I know this crab looks really small. Yeah. The thing is, a cracking little bait. You only want 2 of these for an hound. One slightly bigger or something. Take the legs and the claws off, I do. Yeah. And then what you got to do is you've got to. My little grandchildren were talking about the other day. They've got little fingers and they peel them all off and then they freeze them for my son. Yeah. But basically, all this here, look, all this gristle, all comes off. Everything comes off. Then you take the back off, and then you get them eyes out like that. Just peel every single thing off you can. Some people just put it on, but I've got no confidence. I want a crab that's soft. You know what I mean? Yeah. So basically, I get all these little bits and pieces off it, every single thing. It's a bit of a tedious job, really. Yeah. And then sometimes you get the cotton and you go and cotton back them armpits if you're not careful. Yeah. You need to clean it completely, like. So that's very small. That's a finished object there. Yeah. You can take the lungs out if you want. Just there's little bits lungs out the corner.
Yeah.
Snip them out
They're
like
dead
that.
man's fingers.
Yeah. People say they're poisonous. I don't believe it. I've caught hundreds of bass and everything with the lungs in. But I take it out now quite often. Depends how I feel, you know. But generally, you should try and take the lungs out. They say they're a bit poisonous to fish, but, you know, and they don't like them. But believe me, when they're hungry, they won't worry about lungs.
Well, they're eating
hardbacks.
Yeah.
They ain't taking their lungs out, are they?
No.
So there's a complete thing. It looks very small, but if you feel that's really soft, it's just all jelly.
Hooks, yeah.
You want another one on top of that, slightly bigger, and then you cotton it all on. I haven't got the finished bait because it's out there.
Yeah.
Basically, you make the finished bait.
So you don't pierce the hook for it at all. You just cotton it onto the hook.
This is one from yesterday, which I won't use. It's a bit of a mess now. It's my last bait from yesterday, and I believe in a lot of cotton.
Right.
I mean, that's not a bad bait. It's got a second hook up inside it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't use that tonight because it's done in.
Yeah.
That's basically the finished object, but I'd have all the juice coming out of that.
Right.
And then, I shouldn't say this on video, but I get a bait needle and I stab it all.
Okay,
before I chuck it out. Get some more juice out. And the more juice you can get coming out of that crab, the better.
Right, okay.
And that's a little bit of a secret because a lot of people don't know that.
Right, okay.
It just gets all that juice out.
Yeah.
What Tony showed me the other day, he's talking about bait needles. If you haven't got one, you can use the prongs obviously on your breakaways.
Oh, right, okay. That's a good idea,
I
isn't
do
it?
use the breakaway quite often because I'm lazy.
Yeah.
Then once you've got that juice out of it, another little tip, which again, off the record, I cotton that juice back into it. Right. The yellow juice, so it cottons it back into it again. And it's just all compact, and all the juice comes out of them. Okay. And that's what it's all about.
And that's just a little bait like that.
I mean, that's a cracking bait. You can see these little yellow. That's from yesterday. Right. I had one yesterday of just over £7. And that's all that juice from yesterday coming out of there. That's been sitting in my box overnight. So if you imagine that being basically like this dead yellow, beautiful, and that's your finished object. One, I use a pennel because you've got two chances. That second hook you put into there, when you put your second hook in, leave a gap, because if you put your second hook straight in there, when it pulls down on the clip, it rips the bait. So I leave a gap, then put that second hook through. To be honest, I know it's a day old, but that's quite a nice bait, that.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
To be honest with you. So then you got to sit there and peel these. Right. But once you've got yours peeled, then if you want me to put it on, I will, you know. Okay, cool. But it's crucial getting it right, you know. It's catching fish or not. Yeah. And a lot of people, they just rush and tear. They, like you just said, tear the back off, that'll be all right. But when they're finicky, they might not have it. Whereas if it's pure soft, they're gonna come and grab it, and maybe even grab it again. You know?
I mean, all my Smoothounds have been on crusties, on the ones that are starting to harden up.
They'll take them, but it's all. I was saying to Ivan earlier on, it's all in your head. It's how you feel about it. If I put a really good bait on, it's totally soft. I feel better than putting a crab on that's a crinkly or a hardback. And everyone to their own. And I'm not saying I won't catch them. But you just get that little edge putting a cleaner, fresher bait on, I think, you know. I wouldn't dream of chucking that out. You could probably chuck that out over there now and catch a Smoothound. I wouldn't dream of chucking that out just yesterday's, no. And I think they quickly gather, you know, they're not so potent, if you know what I mean. So, but I'm not saying that won't catch. It's like lugworm. You use lugworm. On Sunday I got a match. I got some lug in there. It's 6 days old. And believe me, that could be dynamite lug. 6 days old.
Stinky
Whenever I go to a match, I take some really old stuff, some fresh stuff, and then some in the middle. And most of us match anglers use 2 or 3 days old. Right. It just matures somehow, you know. Well, I mean, that was straight out the sand, you know, fresh out.
Especially dabs and whatever you like, stinky black lug.
Yeah, do. In the place, they love them.
I mean, I've been using fresh outs, and I don't think they catch that well.
They do on their day, and when the cod were in, they were dynamite. You had to have them. A bass life and fresh outs as well.
It's just the other thing they've got all that iodine in their tail, which must be to put a fish off.
Maybe.
Yeah, because why would they have it otherwise?
I don't know. They probably love it if they get a fresh. You know, it can be deadly fresh out. But other days they don't work, like you said. But the main thing is, I think with all this fishing, I try and explain to people, it's all about times. You know, I bet you, anything you like, 9:45 at night, just getting dusk, you'll catch.
Right.
I could near enough put my life on it, you know. But you'll sit here now, I've got a lovely crab on, I've got a nice way out, and it ain't moved, it ain't gonna move. No. Unless there's hundreds there. But believe me, when that goes dusk and that sun goes down, and the tide's high tide and half an hour down, and it's starting to run properly, and then you'll get them. We'll all probably get them.
Yeah, well, that'd be cool if we do.
It happened last week with Ivan, because he's getting a bit upset, like I said to you, because we ain't caught any. I said, just wait a minute, it'll all happen in a minute, and you could, sure as you like, 9:45, wasn't it? Yeah. And the rod went wham, you know, and we were in, you know. And then
but I am the jinx, you know that, I am a jinx.
No, we're catching, it's just the times. You really want that
nice thing, we haven't got the weed issues like we've got further down the coast.
Man, as I say, we were west of Shore, and we got fished out, we got weeded off. I mean, I had a bass first cast. Yeah. So I did a video saying it's the curse of the first cast fish. Yeah. Because I didn't catch nothing for the rest of the night. And we moved route to seafood, as I say, and I literally got maybe 50 yards away, and Alex was into his first Smoothound all night.
Yeah. I mean, last night it was just, I went over there, I took a friend over, he came over and watched me, and I said, look, we're here too early, we're not going to catch anything. I said, by the time they're coming, the fish, you've had enough. Yeah. And I was, I'll be honest with you, I was about to go home and Paul, my mate, come over. Yeah. And I said, what are you doing? He said, oh, I've just come for an hour, she wanted to go fishing. So I thought, I better stay with him. So I missed one, because I was talking to him, like I said to you. And then, quite a way down, I thought, oh, good now, it's gone, the tide's gone. But it was dark, it started to get dark, dusk, you know. That's when they feed. And I chucked it out,
that was exactly
got one.
Well after high tide, just about to pack up, just getting near 11 o'clock, and then bang, you know.
This will run through here like you can't believe it. Even though it's chuck out towards that buoy.
And it'll go whooshing off.
Further left than that buoy, and it'll be over by you. In about an hour, it'll rip through there. Right. And that's why you catch them here, because you've got a nice run of tide. Yeah. And that's when they feed, you know. Yeah. Down the point, there was no tide last night. Oh, right. There was hardly any tide, because it ebbs. Yeah. It floods like mad. We missed that. And it ebbs slower down the point. On a big tide it ebbs, but it was hardly moving. Yeah. So maybe why I missed that first one. Even though I was away from the rod, normally they do it themselves. Yeah. But maybe I missed it because there's not enough tide to hook it. Maybe. But once the tide's running, you catch them. It's running now, but nowhere near. Like, I won't be able to use a 5 ounce on it. It'll be a 6. Okay. Because it won't hold up. No. It'll just tear over there, you know. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've been here since, I don't know what time I got here, about 4, was it? Yeah. And I mean, I was sniffing, my baits haven't been touched, nothing. I wasn't expecting, no, but you think maybe I'd get something.
Yeah, but I have come up here and catch them for fun. Yeah. Yeah. Unlike Langley, it doesn't flood it. The tide doesn't run that way very much at all. Yeah, yeah. But if you were a long way out there, it does. Right, yeah. But you go in a boat here and you're ripping that way towards the beachy head. Yeah. And on the flood, your boat's going round in circles, you know what I mean? Yeah. But it does flood a bit, and of course, if it's a long tide, you'll get a little bit of flood, and then the flood will stop and you'll catch one. Right. All fish want to feed on bloody tides, you know? Yeah. And that's what happens. But the ebb tide is great, and that's why it's better to come up here, really.
I mean, I get people, when I talk about casting, people going, you don't need to cast far, most people are casting over the fish. No, that's not true, because if you can't cast far, if the fish are a long way out, you can't reach them. You know, on certain nights, you're right. You know,
30 yards out, right, but you might have 130 yards out. You've got to be capable of
it's like bass. I mean, most people cast over the top of bass, because bass are normally in close in, I've seen them with the fins out of the water.
Yeah, they come right in close to bass. Yeah. And generally, just guys catch bass 70 yards, you know. Yeah. The soles are close. Yeah. Soles are good, 80, 90 yards. You don't want to go far for them soles. No. They tend to be on that phone's foot and that, you know. Yeah. And I put it in my article last week. I wrote an article. I said, you only want to flapper rigs, 3 hooks, 80 yards, 70, 80 yards, that'll do. And they're there, you know. And you chuck out further and you get embarrassed because people beat you. Yeah. You know.
But if you've got that range, you can always cast shorter. If you haven't got the range, you can only cast shorter.
You've got to have that in your ammunition. You know?
Yeah.
And I think guys that phenomenally cast, like I used to cast really well years ago, lost distance now, I'm 67, but I think guys that cast a long way, they catch fish a lot of the time. You've got your own water. If you're in a competition and you're all hitting the water, and the bloke's there 20 yards further, that fish is going to come to in first.
And also it's a slightly deeper water in it, and you know.
Yeah, so just having that in your artillery is...
Yeah. Oh, nice. So, there's all sorts of problems with fishing in Eastbourne, not least the swimmers that decide to come all the way in and cross your line. So I think Jason is about to hook his PB swimmer. He must be very close to his line. And then when he comes across, he's going to be close to my lines as well. Did you miss your line? She actually went underneath my line. She's determined she's going to get one of us. I think it was a she. Well, it is the witching hour. We should be catching some fish now, but I don't think anybody is. You know, that's why it's called fishing. It's not, you know, it doesn't always happen. It doesn't seem to be happening to me a lot. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the jinx. But even Tony's not catching, and if anyone's going to catch it, it'll be Tony. Can't say the baits aren't good, and I know how to rig them up now. I'm a lot more confident now I'm rigging my feeder crabs up. Well, I just had a cracking bite, didn't manage to get it on the camera, but didn't connect with it unfortunately. But it's definitely a smoothhound bite. So I just missed one. Yeah. I didn't put my camera on for it though.
You didn't?
No. But it's all going to happen in a minute. I was going to walk down and see if Tone's had any joy, if anybody else has had anything down here. I think it seems like I've had the only activity. And I missed it. Tony's hound bag. I like the idea of that.
Hey?
I like the idea of your bag.
Houndle, yeah.
Yeah, the houndle. Anybody else had any joy?
Ivan's had a little pump like that.
Oh right.
It's the only one who's caught it.
Yeah.
We've had enough. It's horrible.
Yeah.
It's like winter, isn't it?
It is horrible, isn't it? Yeah.
Bloody typical, eh?
Another pup here.
Had them all week. He's got a pup on here, look.
Yeah.
Had them all bloody week. Yeah.
Yeah,
Come here tonight and start winter's night, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I had a decent bite, so I missed a decent fish there, which really pissed me off. But such is life. The trouble was, it was pulling my rod rest over, so I couldn't even turn around to put the camera on.
No, I see what you mean. They do go when they go.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here optimistic, but it's all over now.
Yeah, I think so. Tide's dropping now, isn't it?
Weather. I think the weather's done it.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Back from east to west. I don't know what that was, Tony. I don't know if he's still there.
Has Steve gone, has he?
Yeah, he's gone. We're going now. We're freezing.
Well, we were just about to pack up and then little pup
Yeah.
died. Must have been all of half a pound.
The trouble is that the little ones tend to be followed by the big ones, don't they?
You still there?
No, he followed me in on the light a few times. I'm actually getting out.
It's that changing weather, I think.
We'll have a look anyway. You know.
Yeah. Who knows, mate? Who knows what it is?
Winter, isn't it?
It's suddenly changed, isn't it?
Yeah. Horrible.
Anything on there? It looked like a bite, didn't it?
Just like last one.
We had a couple of bites.
Yeah.
Just lay there half a bit hit, don't they?
There we go. It's got a white in. Oh no, he's got a little bass. Little schoolie.
Top man, didn't you? Tonight?
There we go.
Can't hold him down, look.
Little schoolie.
Well, it says a blank.
Yeah.
Well, I think if Tony's not catching, then no one is. So I think I'm going to call it a night as well. I've used all my crabs up now, so no, the camera's facing. Yeah.
I'm sitting here hoping it might go, but I really don't think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was forecast, so the forecast has got it right, almost to the minute, because it said at about 10 o'clock it was going to start, and it was about 10:30, wasn't it? It was a good night, and I've learned stuff. Always learn stuff with Tony.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Yeah.
Fish.
Yeah, well, we'll do it again.
Yeah, we'll have another go.
Do it again.
We need a bit of warm weather again.
Yeah, it's like a different month, isn't it? I don't think it's going to happen tonight. Tony's packing up, I think, because he's wet and cold as well. But you can't believe that it's the same month as it was yesterday. I mean, it's turned quite cold. It's raining drizzle, but it's driven drizzle. It's windy. It's not very pleasant down here. I've used up all my crabs now, so I think I'm going to pack up and I'm going to start heading for home. Keep safe, keep sane, keep fishing. Catch you on the next one. I mean, if something happens between now and then, I'll start the video again, but if not, I'm going to call it a night. Good night all.